like a Sunday. It's sweet every time I teach you something new. Is this by chance or fate? Whenever it's just me and you. Don't get the wrong idea. When we touch, you'll never be enough. Is it way too much if you had to choose just one of us? Tell me, please. Is this what I think or is it just me? Don't wake me up from this sweet little dream where we'll be together forever. We're never gonna be apart. Will it be okay if I express my love for you this way? No matter what you do or what you say, we'll be together forever. We're never gonna be apart.
Okay, so yeah, that is one hell of an intro. Well, hello there, people with internet, and hello again. I am TheMBmulti, and welcome to Doki Doki Encore, the newest mod that I'm going to be playing for my Doki Doki series. And yeah, the menu is already overwhelming and it's awesome. What can I say? They outdid themselves with the menu, I got to say. Yeah, so the mod is apparently designed to be a continuation of the main story, if I remember correctly. Actually, hang on. Yeah, okay, so the gameplay takes place after Act 1, but prior to Sayori's death, and I get to have, I believe there are 4 endings for one of each of the, or at least like 4 routes or something. I don't know. I don't know too much about the game, but that's what I like. But yeah, you needed to have played the original game. So yeah, okay. I don't know anything. I just know that it's supposed. There's a lot of. Just already from the title, I can tell that a lot of work was put into this. So it can only get better than the title. I don't know. Maybe all the effort was put in the title screen and no more and nothing else. But who knows? Anyway, welcome to Doki Doki Encore. Before we begin, you need to answer a few quick questions. Okay. Sayori confessed to you in the base game. Did you accept Sayori's confession? If you click yes, you'll be starting off on her route in this mod. If you click no, you won't start on her route. Yeah, let's say yes. Let's accept. Because I've done Yuri's route first every single time so far. So let's mix it up a bit and do Sayori's route first. Good. Now there's Yuri and Natsuki. In the base game, you chose to spend the weekend with one of them for the festival preparations. If you chose no on the last question, you either start off on Yuri's or Natsuki's route in this mod, depending on who you choose next. Okay, well I chose yes, so that doesn't matter. If you chose yes on the last question, well, you'll see how things will go, now won't you? Okay, we helped Yuri. Shall we begin, Mark? Yeah, let's go. Every good story needs an encore! It seems you couldn't make it to my show, so I brought the show to you! Show times are on the hour, not a moment before, but not a moment later. It is time to take your final bow! Alright. Ugh. As I regain consciousness, I'm greeted by a sharp pain in my forehead. Ah! This pain is almost unbearable. I stand up slowly, clutching my forehead in an attempt to nurse this stinging pain. What just happened? I groggily open my eyes. Whoa! I'm in space! Space! I guess that explains the yellow of this mod. Because the space core is yellow. What the hell? Where am I? What is this? I look around in all directions, but as far as the eye can see, there's nothing but black empty space. Hello? 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 I hear nothing but the sound of my own voice echo into the oblivion. How did this happen? What even happened? Everything was normal just up until a few minutes ago. Up until suddenly I hear something walk towards me. Oh, hi Monika! I'm able to make out a dark silhouette. I think I recognize that outline. Hello? The figure finally comes into my view. It's Monika? Oh, good. You're awake. Monika? Where are we? What just happened? Where are the others? What is this? Oh, you mean you don't remember? I tried to remember what happened, but I no longer can. Everything is now a blur to me. No, not really. Well then, I guess whatever I tried to do must have caused you to forget everything. I guess my coding skills aren't quite up to scratch. Monika, what the hell are you talking about? What coding? You're not making any sense. Oh dear, I messed up pretty badly. I messed this up pretty badly. Well, I guess I'll just have to try to take us back then. To take us back? What are you talking about? Where are you taking me? To the beginning, silly. You need to remember something if this is going to work. Now just give me a second. No, Monika, wait! Oh. What? No, Monika, wait, what are you talking about? To the beginning! I hear a loud banging on my door. Hey! What? What is that shouting? Wakey, wakey, sleepyhead! Oh, hayo sayori! I open my eyes. I see my door swing open as my annoying yet sweet girlfriend Sayori enters my room. Hey, did I just run into my bedroom? Sayori startlingly goes back outside and shuts the door. Sorry, Mark. Oh, Sayori, always doing things without thinking. In all the years I've known her, she hasn't changed a bit. Even through the period of time where we drifted apart, it's still good to see that she's the same person. Still, ever since we reconnected after convincing me to join the literature club, I've still learned some pretty unexpected things about her. It was only last weekend that I learned about her depression and her feelings for me. So I decided on the day to tell her how I felt. I told her that I loved her back. And well, we've been dating ever since. Why is she here anyway? Oh right, I guess it makes sense for Sayori to be here. Lately, I've accidentally picked up on her habit of sleeping in. Dealing with the stress of everything in the last 2 weeks has really taken a bigger toll on me than I first realized. Sayori has now made it a habit of her morning routine to make sure that I don't oversleep. No, that's actually pretty cute. At least she seems to be doing much better now. Wait, what time is it? Oh, I accidentally clicked, but okay. I roll over to get a better look at my clock. Oh crap, I'm gonna be late! I launch myself out of bed and get ready for the day. And so another ordinary day of school awaits me. At least we finally get to have our first club meeting since the festival. While doing an abridged version of my morning routine, a wave of nostalgia hits me as I think about the club meeting we'll be holding later today. It's hard to believe how invested I've become in the club since I first joined. There's just a space missing there, but okay. But a lot of things have happened since then. I got the chance to get to know Yuri a little bit better as we prepared for the festival. I fondly recall back to last Sunday where we spent the afternoon working on the banner. A smile comes across my face as I remember the towel incidents. Then there was Sayori's confession and fallout afterwards. After the festival was over, I was honestly so burnt out that I was tempted to skip the rest of the school week. Still, I think our performances at the festival were okay. Nice. I'm glad that it didn't turn out in a disaster like in Blue Skies. We should be getting a few new people at the very least. Despite having to perform at this year's festival, I certainly had much more fun compared to last year's. Especially since I was able to spend it with Sayori and Yuri. They wouldn't let me out of their sight for some reason. Mark! Are you almost ready? We're going to be late. Just hang on! I look in the mirror to see how I look. Currently, I'm too tired to really pay much attention to my appearance. Ah, that ought to do. You ready yet? Yeah, come on in. Sayori enters my room again. Hey Mark! She beams at me. Hey Sayori, you're looking great today. Sayori starts to blush at the comments. Aw, thanks Mark, you're too kind. Sayori then frowns at my appearance. Mark! Wow, this looks actually very well drawn as well. This almost looks like it's part of the main game. I mean, the Blue Skies also had those drawings, like the special CGs or whatever these things are officially called. But why is this guy like staring at Sayori's chest? But even though in Blue Skies they were also very, very, very nicely drawn, you could definitely see that it wasn't part of the main game because the art style was just a bit different. I'm not saying that it was ugly or anything. You could just see it because of the difference in art style. But in here, this looks like it literally could have just been from the main game. Sayori goes up to me and attempts to fix my hair. I blush as Sayori's fingers swirl through my hair. Hey, come on. Is this really necessary? You look like you just got out of bed. Well, maybe that's because I kinda just did. Sayori and I fall silent for a second. As she continues, I can't help but be reminded of all the times my mother would do this to me right as I was about to go to school. I'd always get embarrassed when she did, especially in front of the other kids. How much sleep did you get? Considering everything that's happened the last 2 weeks, a lot. And I still think I need more sleep. Sayori looks a little taken aback by my comments. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up so soon. Did I really come across as that rude? I know that Sayori is still going through her depressive episodes, and how it makes her want to avoid being a burden on other people, especially me. Hey, it's not your fault, really. Honestly, I feel a lot more rested now. Sayori's face returns to her gleeful expression. Yeah, well, that's good. I really need to be more careful with what I say around her. We stand there smiling at each other, looking into each other's eyes. It didn't occur to me 2 weeks ago, hell, ever in my life, that I would have ever dated my childhood best friend. It's something I kind of always thought of myself as a what-if scenario, but I never really gave it serious thought until we started reconnecting. I guess that after spending all this time together, we were able to rediscover that tight bond we once shared. As the memories continue to swirl in my head, I suddenly remember that we still had school. I snap out of my gaze. We should probably get going. We don't want to be late. Yeah, you're right, she says, slightly flustered. Oh, whoops. I can tell she would rather stay. But we reluctantly make our way downstairs and start making our way to school. As we walk, we can't help but catch glances in each other's direction, only to quickly look away while blushing. I mumble under my breath. Gosh, we're really together now, aren't we? Huh? Did you say something, Mark? Oh, nothing important. The warmth of her hugs, the scent of cinnamon that radiates from her hair, that infectious smile that never fails to brighten my day. It's no wonder I fell for her. As we continue our walk, I just keep thinking to myself about the next chance we will be able to spend some time together. As soon as we arrive at school, the morning bell rings, making all the other students scramble to reach their first period classes. Walking through the mass of other students, I can't help but reminisce at some of the memories I've had with Sayori in these halls. I didn't really realize how much I've missed out on enjoying the craziness in the hallways before the classes until I started walking with Sayori again. Some of our fondest memories with each other were watching all the shenanigans in the school's halls. In hindsight, that's probably why our school started using hall monitors. Still, hall monitors or not, we would always find something to laugh at. After a few minutes of navigating our way through the crowded hallways, we finally get to Sayori's first class. So, I guess this is my stop. I can't help but detect an ounce of disappointment in her voice as she says that. Honestly, I can't blame her, especially after my little comment from earlier. It really sucks that we're not sharing any classes this semester. We only occasionally see each other walking through the hallways between periods. Yeah, I guess so. We stand there awkwardly for a moment. Well, I guess I'll see you at the literature club, right? Sayori's disappointment is quickly erased by her usual cheery attitude. Yeah, I can't wait. Sayori and I briefly embrace each other. See you later, Mark. We release each other, her warmth escaping me as we go our separate ways. So how poetic. The school day is as ordinary and boring as ever, listening to the same old teachers teaching the same old things. Eventually, my torment comes to an end as the final bell rings throughout the school. That means it's time for the literature club. As I leave my class and walk through the school, I see Sayori standing outside. Hey Mark, ready to go? Yep, let's go. And so we head off to the club room. I don't know what my mind turned this word into. I guess broom, as in like a broom. But my mind's like, whoa, what the hell? Oh no, never mind, it says club room. We go up through the same familiar set of stairs and distant corridors that lead straight to the club room. I've been wondering all day if anyone new will stop by today. We got a whole week away from the club after the festival. Though Monika still expected us to spread the word around about the club. I'd say that our performances at the festival were pretty well received. Not to mention we had a pretty good turnout for the event. The audience seemed to love our performances. Though I'm just glad I didn't end up embarrassing myself. Truth be told, I still feel somewhat guilty of just using a poem I found online. Especially considering the authors actually took the time and effort to write their poems for the festival. Not long after my train of thought ends, we finally arrive at the club room. I look at the door to see that the sign-up sheet is no longer there, so I'm taking that as a promising sign. Do you think anyone signed up to join, Mark? Only one way to find out. Why do you have to do that? Why do you feel the mod developers? Why did you feel the need to do that? You bastards. Let's get horrible flashbacks. To find that the usual scene we've become accustomed to over the last 2 weeks is still the same as ever. I see Yuri reading her book in her usual spot and Natsuki in the closet organizing her. How the hell can you see Natsuki if she's in the closet? How the hell does your vision go? It's got like an arc, because we enter there and Natsuki is in there, so my vision goes like this. It arcs around. It's like, oh yeah, I know, yeah, Natsuki's in there. I glance around the room, but see no sign of Monika. Hey guys. Yuri sets her book down on the desk. Hello, Mark. Anybody new stop by? No, not yet. It's just been me and Natsuki. Monika hasn't even showed up yet. That's odd, she's usually here by now. Natsuki must have overheard us as she walks in to join the conversation. She's probably sulking that nobody decided to sign up. Natsuki, maybe you should be a little bit more understanding of Monika's feelings. The festival did mean a lot to her after all. I know that. But I still don't see what the big deal is with getting new people. I'm fine with what we have right now. I am too, but try to be a little considerate when Monika comes in. Wait, nobody even signed up? Nope, at least that's what I got from seeing Monika around today. She looked rather down. Sayori frowns upon hearing this. Aw, poor Monika, we should cheer her up. Cheer me up? How, Sayori? An all too familiar voice sternly asks. You're supposed to be that! Oh crap. We turn around to see Monika standing by the doorway. Hi, you look very stern. You can't see it because my face comes in the way. She enters the room. Her footsteps are heavy. Judging by the look on her face, it's easy to tell she's looking rather dejected. Yuri, sensing the incoming tension, quickly attempts to hide behind her book, while Sayori, Natsuki and I stand there dumbfounded. They all just look as surprised as I am at Monika's sudden entrance. Oh, hey Monika. We were just, all words escape me in this situation. I look to the other girls to bail me out of the situation, but nobody has anything to say. Monika sighs deeply, trying to steady her breath. It's alright, Mark. Everyone take a seat. Everyone takes a seat in the front row as Monika looks on. Monika starts slowly pacing the floor in front of us. So, it's true that despite the glowing reviews we got at the festival, nobody signed up to join our club. Natsuki shifts around awkwardly in her seat, as if Monika was directly addressing her. Just how much did Monika overhear? Which in and of itself is unfortunate. We put in a lot of efforts making the club look its best at the festival, and it was all for nothing. Everyone avoids making eye contact at Monika, wanting to avoid her disappointed gaze. We tried our best, and in the end we couldn't attract even one new member. Maybe if I did something different, we would be better off. this is my fault. I exchanged looks with Yuri, Natsuki and Sayori in an attempt to figure out what we should say. It's really clear to all of us at this point that Monika's really hung up over this. Oh, why? Why? Again, mob developers, why do you feel the need to do that? You monsters. After a moment of silence, Yuri is the first. Good job, Yuri. I always love it how Yuri is like always like she's like the last person you would expect to do something. You would like expect Sayori to do something in the situation, or even like maybe Natsuki to like maybe make a snarky comment, like trying to like clear the air with some humor or whatever. But you wouldn't really suspect Yuri to start up a difficult conversation like this. But like when she does, she's like, nice, like good on you, Yuri. You know. Hey, Monika. Monika turns her full attention to Yuri. Yuri immediately averts her eyes as she starts shifting her feet on the floor. Surprisingly, Yuri pushes on with what she has to say. Listen, it isn't your fault that we couldn't get anyone new to join our club. Monika closes her eyes, trying to fight back tears. You just pushed us out of our comfort zones to give us an opportunity to make something fun for all of us. And I can say from my experience from the preparations, it was well worth it. Yuri shoots me a side glance. I know exactly what she's referring to. Unfortunately for me, Sayori caught that and she shoots me a quizzical look. The funny thing is, I haven't quite gotten around to telling the others that Sayori and I are now a couple. The only one who knows that we're dating is Monika. How? And I still have no clue how she found. Yeah, I was about to say. She checked the game's codes or whatever, and she spies. She has eyes everywhere. She's fucking everywhere, man. She's in the walls. Are you Monika? Is it you? Oh yeah, I already read that. I assume Sayori must have told her, but I haven't bothered checking with her about it. Saving me from further embarrassment, Natsuki is the next to speak up. Oh, come on, Monika, don't be so hard on yourself. You see, that's something that Natsuki would say, indeed. But yeah, you don't really expect Yuri to be the first one to say something like that. That's pretty difficult for her. Of course, not that she doesn't want to be a good friend or whatever. Not like she doesn't have anything to say. She wants to say it, but like she has like the anxiety of speaking up a bit. I had fun preparing for the festival. I always enjoy baking, so I wouldn't say that it was all for nothing. So Yuri turns her attention back to Monika. Monika, Yuri and Natsuki are right, so there's nothing we could have changed. We made the event as fun as we could. And even though no one joined, that's not so bad. You still get to hang out and have fun, just like we always have. Finally, it's my turn to speak up. Yeah, Monika, you're a great club president, and I couldn't be happier with it. I couldn't be happier with what we have now. If no one wants to join, that's on them, not you. Monika opens her eyes and puts on a thankful expression. Yeah, you're right, everyone. I don't know why I was getting so hung up. Monika! Monika! I just wanted to push our club to new heights. It's my responsibility as the club's president to grow our club and share what we have with others. But I can accept the status quo for now if that's what everyone wants. We all look to each other and nod. Yeah, what we have now is fine. It's quality over quantity anyways. I'm content with our current membership as well. Again, Yuri is like, with her sophisticated vocabulary, like, yeah, I just like it very much when she does that. I love spending time after school with all four of you. And I wouldn't change that for the world. Yeah, let's keep what we have now. I really enjoyed getting to know all of you over the last 2 weeks. I wouldn't want to see that change because of new members. Monika looks to all of us one by one as we voice our opinions. She nods grudgingly but approvingly. Oh, what the hell? She did. I don't know if you can see, but she was like something along those lines. It's settled then. As president of this club, it is my responsibility to listen to each of you. So, based on everyone's feedback, we'll keep the literature club as at 5 members. At least for now. Despite her agreeing with us, I can't help but feel as though she still isn't completely satisfied. Oh well, I'm sure she'll get over it soon. She's a strong person, and I know she can overcome anything if she puts her mind to it. Oh no, don't say that! Because the things on her minds are not the things that you think that are on her minds. Soon after the discussion disperses, we all resume to our respective activities. Since I have nothing better to do, I decided to see what everyone else was doing. Who should I hang out with? Save... Bright yellow? Should we hang out with Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, or Monika? Well, since Sayori was giving me that bit of like a stare, like, oh, what the hell is Yuri referring to? I guess we should clear the air a bit with Sayori if she has any questions. I thought I literally had to make a choice, but it looks like I can choose everybody. I first go to Sayori. Hey, Sayori. Oh, hi, Mark. Sayori puts on her usual cheerful grin, but something about it just seems off. What's up? I take a seat right next to her. Oh, same old. She smiles sadly at me. Sayori? She must be having her rain clouds again. I gently place my hand on her shoulder. You know that if anything's bothering you, you can talk to me. I'm here for you, Sayori. I hate to see you like this. Like, I just went straight through her armor. Like, yeah, we're boyfriend and girlfriend now. You can't hide that shit from me anymore. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. Like, straight through your armor there. Hey, you could tell me something if something's up. I know you don't want to have those rain clouds over your head all the time. I can hear Sayori start to sniffle. I know, Mark. I pat Sayori's shoulder as she struggles to compose herself. I just want you to get better, Sayori. That's what matters the most to me right now. A few minutes pass before Sayori stops sniffling. I just don't want this relationship to be a one-way street, Mark. It's not. Why would you think that? Well, you've already done so much for me. What have I done for you in return? Sayori, I don't think you're looking at this the right way at all. Huh? Look, I know that this is new for the both of us, but the way I see it, we're in this together for as long as we can. Just knowing that I have someone to turn to whenever I feel down or need a smile on my face. For me, that's all I need right now. And we've been doing that for as long as we've known each other anyways, so I don't think that much has changed between us. Yeah, I guess you're right, Mark. I know I shouldn't view our relationship like that. But lately, I just can't stop asking myself that question. Sayori looks away from me in an effort to compose herself again. After a moment, she calms down. Hey, Sayori? Sayori curiously looks up at me. Yeah? If you don't mind me asking, when did you realize you had this? Huh? What do you mean? It's just that I've known you for as long as I can remember. I always saw you as someone who was always happy, bubbly, sometimes clumsy, but overall just a big bundle of joy and sunshine. I never would have thought that in a million years that you would have ever been going through something like this. Sayori pauses, as if to reflect on what I just said. I mean, I've always had it. But it got really bad when high school started. It's only gotten worse, especially recently. I guess with the stress of all the exams, schoolwork, drama and other things. Like my parents' divorce. Oh, we get some more information about Sayori's parents, because in Blue Skies, her parents didn't really exist at all. And just missing out on spending time with you. I feel my heart deflate as I hear this. I never thought that me spending less time with Sayori over the years would have that kind of effect on her. I feel so stupid. That would really, I would also be like, oh shit, I mean, of course, it's not really like technically it's not my fault that her depression got worse. I mean, of course, her depression is not necessarily my fault to begin with. But, you know, like, the fact that I did anything to contribute to that, just, that makes my heart sink, you know? Like, oh my god, no way. Like, I'll tell me what I need to do. I'll do whatever it takes, and I'll do it 10 times over, you know? Like, oh my god. I guess it just finally took enough of a toll on me to the point where I realized I had this. But my entire life, I've always felt that everyone would be better off if I didn't exist. No matter how hard I tried to give people my happiness, my time and my energy, just nothing ever felt like it was worth it, and that they didn't need me to be happy. And I came to realize that if I ever opened up about how I really felt on the inside, then people would spend all their time trying to make me happy. I'd just be a weight on their shoulders. They have too much to do and I don't want to add onto their stress. That's what I thought when we kind of drifted apart when high school started. You had too much on your plate, and me being around you would be too distracting for you, so I would always have to muster up the courage to even try to talk to you. I feel an overwhelming sense of guilt overtake me. Sayori! I hold both of her hands tightly and look into her eyes. I'm so sorry. You have nothing to apologize for, Mark. I do. If I just put you before my hobbies... if I showed you more that I cared, maybe things would be better. I promise you, Sayori, I'm going to make this up to you, starting right now. I see Sayori's tears return as they drip onto her cheek. Don't feel guilty for the way I feel, Mark. How can I not? I can't let you get worse. I never really realized how my actions might have affected you. So going forward, I'll try to be different. For your sake. Mark, that's like kind of the opposite of what she wants, but okay. Mark, that's the reason I didn't want to tell you about this. You shouldn't have to change yourself just to make me happy. I'd be a terrible girlfriend. No, you wouldn't be, Sayori. Don't say that. Sayori hugs me tightly. I put my arms around her and close my eyes. I can feel my heart beat in sync with Sayori's. I feel the warmth of her body radiate onto me. As emotional as we both are right now, this is nice. We'll like this for some time before we hear some commotion come from the closet. Damn it, Monika! Monika and Yuri let out a small giggle at Natsuki's apparent misfortune before getting back to their respective activities. So Yuri and I turn to each other, both shooting each other a concerned look over what just happened. I'm going to check on Natsuki. Sayori wipes a tear and gives me an approving nod. I get up and carefully approach the closet. Carefully. It's very, very carefully. I hear Natsuki rummaging around the closet. Like peeking around the corner. Natsuki! Like with a tiny piece of paper. That's okay. Are you in there? I ask ever so cautiously and as softly as I humanly can. Natsuki turns towards me with a fiery expression in her eyes. What? Hey, I say that a lot too. Like when people I'm just sitting there minding my own business and then somebody, I only do this with people I know, of course. Like somebody asks me like, "Hey Mark," or something, you know, and like what? Like just completely out of nowhere. It's just really funny. Like what? And then oh hi, like the second later, like I'm back to normal. It's like what? Hi. The frustration in her voice takes me off guard. I need to calm her down before this gets out of hand. Hey, I just wanted to see what's been going on, that's all. Natsuki seems to calm down a little upon hearing this. I can't find my volume 12 of Parfait Girls. Everything's been moved around again. Do you want me to help you? Natsuki seems to be slightly offended at my suggestion. No, I got it all under control. I don't need your help. Idiot. Her voice trails off. You sure? Yes, I'm not a kid. I can handle myself, you know. Maybe she can handle this by herself. Suit yourself. As I head back towards the front of the room, I can hear Natsuki's exasperated sighs, followed by more of her yelling. Baka! What? I'll never get around to understanding Natsuki's weird logic. While walking out from the closet, I am abruptly stopped by Yuri. That's odd. Yuri usually doesn't approach me first. Hey, Mark. Oh, hey Yuri. How have you been lately? How have you been? I've been really busy being dead. You know, after you murdered me. You did what? Oh no. Okay, look, we both said a lot of things that you're going to regret, but I think we can put all the differences behind us. For science. You monster. I will say though that since you went through all the trouble of waking me up, you must really love to test. I love it too. There's just one small thing we need to take care of first. Here we are, the incinerator room. Be careful not to trip over any parts of me that didn't get completely burnt when you threw them down here. Sarcasm self-test complete. Oh good, that's back online. Okay, I'm sorry. I've been doing alright, what about you? I'm doing great. Just done finishing this chapter on Portrait of Markov. And I was hoping that we could maybe read it together sometime. Her confidence falls apart. She's no longer meeting my eyes as her face heats up with embarrassment. I did remember her mentioning how much she loved reading that book. Not only that, she gave you a copy of the book, dude. Remember, keep your head in the game here, pal. Well, I wouldn't want to hurt. Oh, it wouldn't hurt to read it with her. Yeah, sure, I'd love to do some reading with you. Right now? Her voice rings with excitement. Whoa, where did this excitement come from, Yuri? Well, I don't think now is the best time. Maybe tomorrow we could... But you're not doing anything right now, are you? Well, I suppose she's right there. But I must admit it's a surprise to see her being this forward. And I really feel like I should get back to Sayori. My thoughts are quickly interrupted by Monika calling the group. Okay everyone, poem time. Why is Yuri acting like she's still under the influence of Monika's coding? I don't like Monika influence Yuri. I like normal Yuri. Yuri without Monika's interference. Yuri quickly gives Monika an agitated look, but swiftly heads back to her desk to retrieve her poem, and everybody follows. As I'm getting my poem, I curiously look off in Yuri's direction, who is avoiding making eye contact with anyone. It really does take a lot for Yuri to talk to someone. She really isn't one for social interactions. She must have really wanted to talk to me, considering we really haven't gotten the chance to recently. Oh well, I'm sure we'll get the chance sooner or later. Well, and I hope that she's a bit less corrupted by Monika when that happens. I proceed to exchange my poem with the rest of the club members, who all seem to generally like it. Unsurprisingly, Yuri came to be first, excited for us to exchange poems. Despite the rather interesting exchange that I had with her earlier, she tries to act as if it didn't happen and gives me useful feedback. Yuri seems to really enjoy my poem. She compliments me on how far I've progressed as a writer and tells me to keep up the good work. Yuri's poem was in her usual style of being deep and sophisticated, but it was unusually depressing for what she usually writes about. Through my best interpretation of her poem, it seemed like it was about a struggle for attention, love and acceptance. During our conversation, I noticed that she really struggled to make eye contact with me. Either out of jealousy that I didn't spend time with her today, or the fact that last Sunday was still on her mind. I have to tell her about me and Sayori sooner or later, but there's no telling how she'll take it. No. Or how she'll take it out on me. But I think that I got at least some insight into what she's going through right now. Through my best interpretation of her poem, it seemed like it was about someone finally feeling wanted, but wasn't sure if it was legitimate or it was just false hope like it usually has been. Oh, ow! Okay, just don't. Okay. While sharing my poem with Monika, it's a bit weird how the game also follows my usual routes. Because I usually started with Monika, didn't I? I usually started with Monika, then I did Sayori, then I did Natsuki, and I did Yuri last. That was my usual route when I played the original game. While sharing my poem with Monika, I could tell that the festival was still in her mind, but she seemed to have more or less moved on from it. Monika complimented me on how far I've come as a writer and noted how my style was becoming more and more similar to Sayori's. Something which she teased me a little about. Yeah, classic Monika! Monika's poem was in her usual freeform and abstract style. I didn't really understand the meaning behind it as usual. Was it because her assassination attempt on Sayori failed? But for my best interpretation of the poem, it had something to do with second chances and new opportunities. Yeah, it has something to do with Sayori. Monika and I then got into a bit of a philosophical discussion about how we should never give up and always take opportunities when they present themselves. It was relatively inspiring, actually. Natsuki gave me her usual suggestion of not being too wordy, but she really struggled to make eye contact with me. Likely out of guilt or for being angry when I was around her today. While I've always struggled to understand her, her poem might have given me some insight into what she's going through. Natsuki's poem was about a girl who had a seemingly good friend group, but one day the group added another member and the new member spent time with just about everyone else. Don't you think that's a little bit on the nose, Natsuki? And also why? Like, your entire attitude is pushing everybody away and then you're surprised that people don't want to spend more time with you. Except for her. And I wanted to get to know the person because she found him interesting. Wow. What the fuck? Like, where? Yeah, he struggled to understand her. But it might have given him some insight. Like, oh, maybe it's about... And then he perfectly fucking describes what Natsuki's going through. Because this poem's metaphors are super easy to understand. But it just never worked out, leaving the person feeling alone and unwanted. Sayori's poem was actually rather romantic. Something that I wasn't used to seeing in her write about. It was about how a girl who finally finds someone that's able to make her feel something other than the loneliness and depression. I was able to quickly pick up that the poem was about us. Yeah, no shit. I was gonna be surprised if you didn't pick up on that. I was blushing the entire time I was reading it. Well, what about us? What about all the broken happily ever afters or something like that? Sayori said she loved my poem as well, which only made me more flustered. Our talk of poems quickly shifts about our school day and what homework we had. I almost get lost in her eyes several times as she's going on about her day. If things can always be like this, I could die happy. Okay everyone, I think we'll end off today's meeting on a high note. Club meeting tomorrow, same place, same time. Awesome, I've missed our meetings so much. It's definitely nice to fall back into our routine. We begin cleaning up the room, all the while discussing ideas for what we can do at tomorrow's meeting. After I finish packing my things, I feel a tap on my shoulder. Hey Mark, ready to walk home? Yep, let's go. Sayori and I say goodbye to the others as we exit the club room and begin our walk home. During the walk home, I see Sayori catching glances at me every few minutes or so. This is custom music as well. I guess she wants to tell me something. Since we're almost home, I figure I'd better ask her now. Sayori? Huh? Well, what is it, Mark? You have something on your mind? Well, I was just wondering if you wanted to hang out today. If you're free. Yeah, I'd love to spend more time with you. Yay! She beams full of excitement and joy. That's the Sayori I grew up with. It's definitely a relief to see her in better spirits considering how she was earlier. Maybe me being around her had something to do with her mood. Well, whatever it is, I'm just glad to see she's doing better. I smile to myself as I take Sayori's hand and continue the rest of the way in relative silence. After a few minutes, we arrive at our houses. I meet you over at your house, Mark. I need to make a quick stop at my place. Alright, see you in a bit. Oh, I'll see you in a bit. We slowly embrace each other, but we quickly let go of each other as Sayori enters her house and I walk further down the street back to mine. Hey! This is Sayori's room! In blue skies, this was Sayori's living room. Or at least it looked very similar to this. Now I'm confused. But this is my living room now. Okay. After dropping off all my school stuff and changing out of my uniform, I head downstairs to wait for Sayori. Not long after I sit down, I hear a knock on my door. Come in! Sayori enters my house and goes to meet me in the living room. Seeing her in my house again reminds me of all the times she'd come over to hang out with me after school when we were younger. Though I'm just glad to be spending more time with her. Hey, Mark? Hey, Sayori. Oh, I thought she was gonna say something, but no, that was literally just her a greeting. A motion for her to join me on the couch. Sayori walks over and joins me, almost immediately resting her head on my shoulder. Instinctively, I wrap my arm around her. The smell of cinnamon emanating from her hair is very apparent. I can't help but sniff a little. Jeez, you're a little cinnamon bun, aren't you? Sayori giggles and blushes at my compliment. You're so good to me, Mark, you know that? I try. It is what I promised after all, remember? Huh? I promise you that I'll be by your side, that I care for you no matter what you're feeling. And well, I guess I'm doing what I think is right. Sayori wraps her arms around me, burying her face into my chest. You really do care about me, don't you, Mark? Of course I do. I'll do anything to make sure you're happy. I can feel her trembling. Do I really deserve any of this? Deserve what? What do you mean? Your affection? Your care for me? Sayori, of course you do. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. Just seeing your smile and being with you is the highlight of my day. I feel Sayori's tears soaking into my shirt. Mark, You don't need to strain yourself, Sayori, I know what you mean. Sayori holds me tighter. After some time passes, Sayori releases her grip on me. So, got anything planned for us today? Not really. Want to see what's on TV? Sounds good to me. Turning on the TV, we spend many hours flipping through the channels, watching various game shows, anime, sitcoms, and whatever is possible enough to be on TV nowadays. Oh, that was a smooth transition. Eventually the sun begins to set. Well, I guess that's my cue to head out. Yeah, I guess so. I'll walk you back. The two of us head outside, and back to Sayori's. Walking back to Sayori's, I can't help... It almost sounds like a restaurant or something. I can't help but notice how beautiful everything looks in the sunset. The tinted pink sky, the bright colors giving way to their darker shades. I really should get out more. Hey, thanks for everything today. It really helps being able to spend time with you today. I'm glad I was able to help, Sayori. I'll see you tomorrow. Try not to oversleep this time, Mark. I'll try my best. With that, Sayori and I embrace each other one last time before she heads back to her place. As I'm walking back to my house, I look back at Sayori's house one more time, smiling to myself knowing that I probably helped make her day. Man, what a day. Actually, what a week. After putting on my pajamas and setting my alarm, I quickly collapse onto my bed. I think I'm getting better at handling Sayori. Handling? That sounds very mean. She's certainly full of surprises. One minute she can be all cheery and an airhead, and then the next thing I know, she could be having moments of self-doubt. Well, we've really only been dating for a week now. I guess we're still trying to adjust to the new reality of being in a relationship. I'm glad I decided to check up on her earlier in the morning before the festival. Yeah, and then she didn't kill herself. Knowing how she was the day before, I was afraid she might have done something rather rash. Yeah, no shit. Well, it wasn't really her fault. That was Monika manipulating her. Thankfully, I guess that feeling was just in my... Oh yeah, nothing to worry about. Surprisingly, she was already up by the time I came to check up on her. Still, I can't believe my dumb luck. I finally found someone who loves me back. As it turns out, after years of trying to find the right girl, she was right in front of me the whole time. As I drift into sleep, I think to myself, life is a funny thing sometimes. It really is, isn't it? Monika, you bastard! Okay, we'll end it up there. Alright, so this looks very promising so far. And Monika seems to be having some sort of weird tie-in with all of this, so I don't know, man. I don't know what she's capable of. Well, I think we all know what she's capable of, but I know what kind of power she will unleash upon us in this mod. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you're enjoying for the Doki Doki series. And of course, you know, like I said in the beginning, I don't know much about the mods when I start them intentionally, because I didn't even know anything about Doki Doki Literature Club when I started it for the original game for the very first time. I just knew that it was popular. That was the only thing I knew when I started the original game. So, you know, keep spoilers to a minimum. The only thing you can say is like, oh, we can't wait to get until whatever. Like, you know, try not to spoil in the comments if you have played the mod or witnessed or watched videos of it or whatever. So anyway, yeah, Doki Doki Encore is next now. So yeah, let's see where it goes. Alright, hope you Romans enjoyed the video. Click the like button if you did. Subscribe to join the Roman army, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, Romans. Valete.